Okay, well, here we are. It's time to see part two of the killing Aiko's mom plot contrivance bullshit. Boy, I can't wait to get into it. Oh, yep, stall time finally began moving. Punpun was sure of it. He's remembering that time where he had no control in his life and he was forced to abandon Aiko of not going to Kawagashima or whatever because that's a thing that you hold on to, right? Boy, I need a fucking manga to tell me how fucking dumb that is. Boy, yep, please tell me how it's dumb to base your life on a fucking promise made to a fucking friend. But oh no, he's thinking of Sachi. Oh no, there's Sachi, and she's like also getting passed by. It's the same scenario. Things are repeating. Punpun's making the same mistakes, but this time that he has the ability to choose. But it's just stupid because he's basing his initial, like, desire over the aforementioned stupidity. So let's go on with it. Okay, yep, there's some stupid shit here. Oh, it's getting dark out. I haven't done anyone but you, Punpun. Oh, yep, let's start over. Everything's all perfect. Let's just get this over with. Oh, yep, here we go. Oh, wait, is this in the next volume? Oh, fuck, I gotta start that shit. Okay, well, let's close this. How do I get to the next? Is there like, can I just go to the next volume? What the fuck is it? Take me to the next volume. Which one is it? I can't read these. The numbers are too small. Change the number. Is this it? Okay, here we go. We're back. Here we are. Change the number. Yep, my mom, she's a little difficult. Sorry, I don't mean to alarm you, but the thought of trying to persuade her scares me a little. Now, mind you, she was just hit by her mom only a few days ago. And she just told Punpun that her mom, like, physically abuses her and hits her. So, like, this is just dumb. And he's like, oh, how do I look? Oh, yeah. Like, look at the writing here. I just don't get this. How, like, okay. She says this, right? Punpun doesn't say anything because Punpun is essentially a silent protagonist. Like, they just don't give him words. Inio Asano can't write. That's the truth of the matter. And I learned that from Solanin. Read Solanin if you want to see how good of a writer Inio Asano is, because it's fucking dog shit. How do I look? Oh, cool. Oh, she looks cool. Oh, cool. Kawaii. Cool. Ugu. It's strange. I'm scared, but I can't stop smiling. I keep thinking of all these things that I want to do. Just like when we were kids. Punpun, if we're to, I mean, this is just so much fucking shit. This is not how conversations happen. And then, like, the stupid Punpun reactions. Like, and then this part where he's like, oh, she's such an, is he like fingering her butthole? She's such an idiot. I adore you so much, I want to bite your tongue off and kill you. Don't worry about that now. Just do what you want. Like, what does that even mean? Like, this is just so stupid. Like, Punpun is, like, literally not paying attention to anything that she just said. Like, it's just so stupid. Okay, so even with that dumb setup, here we go. So, Aiko barges in on her mom. And what is her mom doing? Well, her mom is streaming online content. You can see here, let's zoom in a little bit. Oh god, when I zoom in it gets fucking wild. Okay, so we see here there's a camera and a laptop, and the mom is wearing Aiko's outfit from when she was in high school. We come to find that out. Here she is, the mom, fucking gap toothed. She's a fucking internet streamer. What are you doing in my school uniform? Who's that behind you? What are you doing? Oh, yep, and there's the camera right there. So, already this is kind of stupid, right? Because we have an abusive parental figure who is basically pimping out Aiko to jobs so that she can sit at home and pretend to be sick. That's what's basically going on here, and we discover that pretty fast. But, like, so we have that scenario, right? Like, that's interesting in and of itself. Like, that's an interesting situation. But in order to, like, cash that check, like, that's just a premise. You need to be able to write that. But the problem is that Inio Asano cannot write. He's just, like, fucking dog shit at it. So instead what he does is that he creates visuals that try to convey the story. But the problem is that at some point, you have to use words. When you're writing a manga, when you're making a movie, when you fucking got a book, Words are generally pretty important to the story, and you have to have some in there to make the story make any fucking sense at all. Like, it's not like you're making a ghost story here, and even that movie has fucking words. So, what the fuck? Here we go. Mom, I'm leaving. I'm going to live with him. So, this, in my mind, this is where Aiko's mom is looking into the kitchen, and I think she's imagining, like, oh, she's going to, like, get a knife and attack Aiko. Now, why did she go to this so fast? Right? That seems a little silly. So right now she's looking in the kitchen. And we can explain how she's looking in the kitchen, because if we go over here, we can see that, oh, this background right here, when we go to the shot where she's looking in the kitchen, oh, look, it's right over there now. So we know that she's looking to her left into the kitchen. We don't know it's the kitchen yet, but we'll come to find that out. So we got a close-up of, upskirt shot of mom. Oh, sure, fine. As long as you're okay abandoning your crippled mother. Oh, basic emotional manipulation. Yeah, great. And this is the part that really gets me. This has to be like a Japanese thing. I'll still send you money, of course. Try to take care of yourself. Let's sit down and talk about this. I'll go make some tea. And then this is the part where she really tries to emotionally manipulate her, where she's like, no, don't worry. I'll need to do this myself from now on. And she's like crawling, and her fucking panties are at her thighs, and you can kind of see some grossness because, I mean, look, the skirt isn't even like fully fucking around her fat fucking waist. And why would it even fit? That's the most unrealistic thing about this scene. Like, how the fuck was that thing supposed to fit in her fat fucking ass? I mean, obviously it didn't, but like, Aiko's like 10 waists shorter, smaller than this. Like, it would be like fucking blowing off even with its fastened. I don't know what the fuck to say. Zipped up? Is it a zipper? I have no idea. So this is just boring. The mom is just like unremittingly evil. And like the thing is like there are abusers who are like assholes. And it's not like you need to write an abuser like to give them a fucking backstory of why they're abusing. But when you only have a character show up who just does like one thing, generally, that's just really boring. Like, the amount of impact a character has on the story should be justifiable for their presence in the story. And Aiko's mom doesn't feel like a character. She just feels like somebody who shows up to push the story forward. And it's fucking boring. So, yep, she's crawling into the fucking kitchen. Oh, here we go. I'll hold it together, And, oh, there's the knives. Now, I don't know if this is my opinion, but look at that. That looks like a knife right there, right? In this thing, it looks like there's a knife right here. I think, she's making the tea, but she gets the knife, right? Now, this is the most unbelievable part. So, somehow, she carries the tray with the tea back over, but the knife is under the tray. How is the tray balanced on the table with the knife under it? Like, what? So where did you two meet? I haven't told you. Haven't I told you to give me a report on who you see every day? So we know the mom is like super controlling. And then she like says, oh, you went to that drive school so you could run into her. And then blah, blah, blah. And then, like, you've always been a liar. What is it? When you were 7 or 8 and you peed yourself. And then, like, the mom is, like, clearly not... Like, the mom is just so evil and shitty. And all the writing is just, like, she's just revealing how evil and shitty she is. And it's just, like... Oh, great. I'm, like... We have a character who's, like, so horrible and abusive. And then she tries to murder them. And then the other characters are so dumb. They're like, oh, no, we can't possibly tell the cops that we defended ourselves. Like, there's the part where the mom's like, oh, like, look, okay, here, we have assault. The mom just punched Aiko in the fucking head. We have literal assault. The issue isn't whether you were accepted or not. The issue is that you're just not aware. Oh, okay. So she punched her in the head. And, no, it's just, this is kind of like projecting, oh, you can't do things everyone else can, even though Aiko goes to a job to pay money so that Aiko's mom can buy dildos and masturbate all day. Like, okay. How can you believe in whatever that is, referring to the statue, but you can't believe in me? You have it all wrong, Aiko. You are truly precious to me. The last thing you can believe in is your family, right? Even I know that. I don't know what the implication here is. Maybe Aiko's mom was abused by Aiko's dad before he died. I don't know. Feels kind of weird. I never said you couldn't leave. I guess you'll find out the hard way how much you rely on me. It doesn't really seem like anyone's relying on Aiko's mom. This part I find to be like really cringe. Don't say anything. You'll never know how she'll use it against you later. Like Aiko's mom is this like super manipulator. Like, I mean, she's pretty fucking retarded. Like, if you have 5 IQ, you could like decimate this bitch into the fucking ground. Like, I don't understand. Don't talk about me like I'm sick or something. You are, though. Everyone but me is sick. Classic. So she's holding this thing up. Somehow she got a knife over there. I don't know how. And you're gonna abandon your mother? Oh my god. And then this is it. She just literally, like, I'm gonna go attack you now with the knife. And Punpun pulls her out of the way to avoid the knife. I think she gets hit. I kind of forget. Oh, she gets stabbed like a little bit. And then, like, that's it. Oh no, then she attacks Punpun. Like, she goes from 0 to murder in 2 seconds. How has this person been able to be a part of a cult and not, like, if you're gonna have somebody just like show up in the plot and just flip shit and go crazy and affect the plot in an exciting and new way, you have to write it well. Because there's no difference than having a character just get hit by a car. And you could write a story about a character just getting hit by a car and then having like the tragic kind of like fallout from that, right? Like, that's fine. But the problem here is that Aiko's mom is just like literally a comic book villain. She's so unremittingly evil. It's ridiculous. Like, she tries to kill Punpun. Like, and then this is where she kind of realizes that, like, oh, they must have like done it because she's not wearing the same clothes or whatever. So she tries to kill Aiko, and Aiko dodges it. Or does she get stabbed here? I think she gets stabbed, I'm pretty sure. I kind of forget. Oh yeah, she definitely gets stabbed. So she's already stabbed Aiko, right? Like, she's actually doing attempted murder. And we draw Aiko's mom looking like sniveling and bucktooth and as stupid and ugly as possible. Of course, you know, that's how these things go. And then Punpun's like, oh, time to do something. And then God shows up, which is just like, it's kind of dumb. When did she pull her panties back up? What the fuck? Whatever. God shows up and God's like, oh yeah, time to go Super Saiyan sicko mode, killer. And then, good morning, Punpun. Ah ha 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 ha. Good morning, not good night. And then we got this fucking face, and then Punpun does some things, and he starts beating her up. He hits her in the head. Like, even if you have to kill her at this point. She is literally not stopping until she is going to kill you. Your self-defense here is like, you need to kill her, because she is going to continue until you die, right? So Punpun like hits her with the thing. Because look, she's grabbing a knife, and she stabbed Punpun in the side while he has hit her. Now he's like choking her. He's trying to make her lose consciousness because she's not stopping. She's going to keep going, right? And then she like loses consciousness from getting choked out. And then the fucking ding-dong male person comes. Where's the ding-dong male person? Oh, she peed herself. There's always there's lots of... Always girls be peeing themselves in this manga. I think it happens like 3 times, but I don't know. Just fucking weird fetish shit. So, yep, he's fucking stabbed in the leg, and then there's a delivery, and then he'll go get the delivery, and then he signs, where's the lady? So, you know, this guy's making a lot of deliveries, right? So she's buying a lot of fucking dildos. And then she comes back in, you know, opens it up. Oh, it's a dildo. And then, but Aiko's like stabbing her mom with like the knife. But then later on, Aiko says that her mom like woke back up, and then she stabbed and killed her to like tell Punpun that like, oh no, you didn't kill her. Like, I killed her. Okay, whatever. I mean, you can still like, this is still self-defense. I mean, this act obviously isn't self-defense. I mean, she's like incapacitated, right? But like, you can still say, you did this in self-defense. My mom attacked me when I told her that I was going to leave, and she came at me with a knife. My boyfriend disarmed her, and then like she stabbed him in the side, and then I grabbed the knife and I said I didn't know what to do, like you're in this like I don't know how, like what kind of, it's a level of self-defense. Like this is like rationally speaking, oh hey, because Inio Asano was horny, and there has to be like just constant horniness in all of his fucking mangas. And then, oh yeah, he, like we killed her, huff ha ha hoo, he ha ha he, time to go. Like, and then they just like leave. Like they just leave. Like they just drive away. Like, oh, time to like sew up some shit. Sew up some shit, and then we get a fucking cut in with the fucking stupid uncle character who's like sniffing fucking fart fumes all day right here. Oh, more stupid shit. This is the stupid good vibrations guy who breaks into people's homes and like puts pepper on their noses and like punches them. And then, okay, finally give it back to Aiko, and she's having a dream about being in school and peeing herself. And then they're just like, okay, well, let's go to Kagoshima. Like, oh yeah, then they like wrap her up and they like hide the body. Like, I don't know. I just hate the way this is written. It just comes off as dog shit to me. It is just such stupid trash. Like, and the thing is like you could write it in a way that's better. Here's how I would rewrite it. Have generally the same things happen. Have Punpun like not be a silent protagonist. Have him be like, oh, sounds like your mom's a pretty bad person. Like, let me go over there and like talk to her. And because Punpun's justification is that, oh, there isn't a mom out there or a parent out there who doesn't worry about their children. So that's why Punpun tells Aiko that like they need to go like say goodbye to Aiko's mom. And I think that's stupid. Why is that stupid? Well, that's stupid because Punpun is assuming that like his regrets about his mom extend to every other person in the world and in reality. And that's just dumb. And writing characters who are just like Disney level stupid, like that's the kind of like one episode character arc that is in like a Disney's kid show where they're like, oh my God, you mean other people have different experiences in the world, and I can't just take my experience and put it onto other people and then have the same kind of expectations for them that I have for myself? Wowie jillikers, I can't believe that. Like, that's a fucking Disney one episode character arc show for kids plot. When you put it in your serious magnum opus, it's not good enough. That's fucking stupid. And the thing is, the reason I bring this up is because I wrote a complaint about this. Like I was like, hey, I like the manga, but there are a few things that I don't like about, the Aiko's mom killing section. I didn't feel like it was very well written. And that was one of the things that I wrote. And people's justifications were like, well, they were just retelling me the story. They were just like, oh, well, you must not have got it. Punpun thinks that all moms everywhere are deserving of second chances because he has regrets about his mom dying and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, hey, idiot, I fucking got that. That's plain as day. That's the literal text of the manga. I understand that. My problem is that is a plot for fucking naive idiots who have no world experience and have no knowledge. I don't care about plots that are so simple that like, like, like if I'm reading your plot and like there's like a morality and the morality is like killing is bad. I don't need a story to tell me that if you're going to tell me killing is bad, you need to craft a story that explores that in a way that is convincing. Other than the surface level, like, oh yeah, like I just went outside and I killed somebody. Like obviously, like nobody wants to read a story like that because nobody cares. Obviously killing is bad. Everyone agrees with that except fucking crazy people. Now, the way that you could tell a story about how, like, for example, killing Aiko's mom is bad is showing the impact of that, her mom's death has on like the cult people, having Aiko's mom be more than like a fucking 2-chapter character, having Aiko's mom, not be like ridiculous. But anyway, let's go back to how I would rewrite the scene. So I would rewrite the scene with with Punpun not being a silent protagonist. Punpun would be like, "Hey Aiko, you stay here. I'll go get your things from your mom's, okay? She sounds like a pretty violent person and I want to make sure that you're safe." You know, thinking with a basic level of human intelligence, okay? Because stories about characters who are just so stupid are not interesting. I don't care, you know? Okay. So Punpun goes over to Aiko's mom's place and she's immediately already set off. You're like, "Who are you? You know, who are you, this person? Why are you here? Why are you grabbing her things?" And then Punpun, he's like trying to kind of ignore her. He's like, "I'm just here for Aiko's things. You know, she's leaving you. She's coming to stay with me." And then, you know, eventually she like blocks the door. Like Aiko's mom has had enough. And it makes sense in this context because Aiko's mom, one, doesn't know who Punpun is. Two, there's a strange man in her home. So she feels like she has, you know, some fucking castle doctrine going on. And I know it's in Japan and they probably don't have castle doctrine and killing is bad, but like Punpun's mom or Aiko's mom, like she now has a reason to brandish a weapon because a stranger is in her home. And she has a reason to be concerned because a strange man is coming in and taking her daughter's things. Bang. Now we have a reason for Aiko's mom to be aggressive and assertive and violent. Perfect. Okay. So then Punpun, you know, he like maybe stops. He like recognizes the gravity of the situation. Aiko's mom's in the doorway. She has the knife and she's like, you know, "Put my daughter's things now, you know, bring me my daughter, you know, I'm not going to let you, you know, touch her things like that or whatever." Right. So there's almost like a kind of paternal aspect to Aiko's mom. And that's something that like this manga doesn't get with like abuse. Is that abuse isn't just like, I am a horrible, horrible person who like hits and like, you know, treats you like shit all the time. Abuse is more kind of like Midori's situation where she does a bad thing, you know, once in a great while, but otherwise, you know, there's support. And a problem with parental abuse is that you can't just like leave the parents because your parents are your source of support financially, for your shelter, other things like that. Like you still need to rely on them. And Aiko has been conditioned clearly to rely on her mom and to kind of not be like, you know, self-serving and not like have any kind of like autonomy, even though she clearly has a degree of like, you know, self-motivation to like get in the modeling thing or whatever that was, or whatever that manga thing was. I don't quite remember, but she has reached out to do things, but her mom has like pulled her back in. You know, she doesn't want her to fly too far from the nest. And I can parse that from the manga, but just to have her like go from like, you know, "You're not going to leave me, I'm just going to kill you." And then the characters like just handle it so poorly that it like ensures all of their deaths. It feels like the manga was written backwards. Like the author knew, I want to write this situation where the girl commits suicide, but how do I justify that? And like he clearly had so much more of this visually in his head, and he just didn't spend a fucking second thinking about how to justify it. Because like this is volume 6. I think there's like another volume after this where there's 300 fucking pages left about, and then there's another volume that's like fucking 200 plus pages. So it's like 500 plus pages of fucking around waiting to die. Like, and it just feels so stupid. Like the characters just don't talk. Like I wanted this manga to be a manga that's like, man, what a brutal story, man, how like, you know, how not touching, but like it's like touches a nerve ending. It feels so painful, but like all I was left with was disappointment. Like when so much of your plot is hinged on one moment, you can't fuck up that one moment. But it's so stupid. The mom just fucking like, "Oh, you know, I've decided I'm going to try to kill you now." And she really goes hard. And then she tries to kill Punpun too. Like just 0 to 60. You know, and I can justify her character doing that, but the thing is like, it's stupid. Characters just showing up in the plot to do things to push the plot in other directions is not interesting to me. It's not well written. And like I said, you could have everything else be the same, but just write the scene better. Spend 5 more seconds on the fucking plot. Like, I cannot get over how bad this chapter is written. She just goes from 0 to 60, 0 to murder. And she punches Aiko right in front of her, like. And I know some of this critique kind of sounds like I'm like, oh, why aren't they thinking perfectly rational in this very irrational situation? And I don't even expect them to think perfectly rational, but like, the writing is just dumb. So like, it makes me want to criticize everything else because I find everything else to be also stupid. I just don't find it bearable to read. I really don't. It's just so dumb. Just and the stupid good vibrations guy is just so fucking stupid. Look at his dumb. Oh no, that's the I don't know. This fucking. I'm good vibrations, man. Look, I do jump swings and I got a hammer. Just so. Like, just look how stupid he is. It's so dumb. I don't understand. And of course. You know, he never gets caught. Nothing bad happens to him. He actually saves the world. How does that make any fucking sense? The character who goes in and commits all these assaults, he gets to save the world. Where Punpun, who saved Aiko from her mom who's trying to kill her, they like get to live like shitty lives. Like, I don't. What is up with that? Like, I don't understand. It's just so fucking goofy and dumb. Just so dumb. Just having a character exist solely to push the plot forward. Oh my god. You know, the thing is that you didn't even need this. You could just cut this whole chapter out and you could just have Aiko and Punpun like run away to Kawagashima or whatever, and then they just find out that like maybe they actually hate each other, or like they just aren't able to survive, or like whatever, and then Aiko is like so disillusioned that she just like commits suicide. I think that would be way better. But the problem is that the murder mom plot is like the driving force of everything. It's the reason Aiko commits suicide. It's the reason they keep running away. It's the reason that they look for Aiko's uncle, Dr. Uncle, whatever, to take care of her. Like, it's just so dumb. It just feels so dumb. And the worst part about it is that after having read Solanin, I feel like everyone's just getting tricked, because Solanin is horrible. It's so dog shit. Like, it just has the same thing that this fucking manga has, where just characters show up on screen and they just tell like another character, hey, oh, excuse me. Hey, these are your personality traits. These are your flaws. These are the things you need to work on in your life. And then the character's like, huh, I've never done any introspection at all in my life ever. Huh. Maybe I need to work on those things. I'm going to do something completely unrelated to the things that I need to work on right now to push the plot forward. And then that's what happens. That's what happens every fucking time. Inio Asano cannot write. And also, I mean, he can't really draw very well either. Like, Goodnight Punpun is only saved by, like, the interesting, like, choice to make Punpun have, like, a weird bird head. And then, like, he's a silent protagonist. Like, presumably he's saying more things than we see as, like, the audience, because that's really unbelievable. But I mean, it's not really totally sure. I don't know. I think for what the manga's going for, it totally belly flops. I think it's a fucking 0 out of 10 in execution. And I think it only tricks idiots into liking it. And that's my fucking opinion. And if you like it, I'm sorry, but you like something that's bad, and there's no greater mistake you can make online than liking something that I've deemed bad, so fuck you.